So the first stage of a plant's life is called germination, and this is when the seed starts to absorb water. This is called imbibition, which causes the seed to swell and activates metabolic enzymes. These enzymes break down the glucose, which supply energy for the cell division, and for the germination to occur, there has to be three main environmental conditions, which are water, oxygen, and a suitable temperature. The seed coat softens, as you can see here, and it breaks through the radicle is the first thing that breaks through, which is the root, and then the plumule shoots up, which is kind of the beginning of the leaf. And as it shoots up, it starts to grow. Then the transport systems, as the seed develops, the internal transport systems, they become vital. And two key vascular systems are the xylem and the phloem, and these ensure the movement of water, nutrients, and organic molecules. The xylem vessels are responsible for transporting water and minerals from the roots to the leaves, and this is driven by transpiration, which is the evaporation of water from the stromata, which creates a pressure that pulls the water up, and this is helped by adhesion and cohesion. And the phloem is responsible for carrying sucrose and amino acids from source tissues like the leaves to sink tissues like the roots. And this occurs through translocation, and these tissues allow flowering plants to grow taller and efficiently distribute resources across their entire structure. Slide 4 is photosynthesis. And once the leaf finally develops, the plant begins to photosynthesize, and this is a biochemical reaction that sustains almost all of the life on Earth. In the chloroplast of the mesophyll cells, the chlorophyll absorbs the light energy and converts carbon and water into glucose and oxygen. The plants use the glucose as a nutrient, and the oxygen is a byproduct. And this is the equation of photosynthesis that represents it. And photosynthesis is influenced by factors like light intensity, carbon dioxide concentration, and temperature, which affect the rate of the light-dependent and light-independent reactions that happen in the chloroplast. And for the reproduction and seed dispersal, as the plant starts to mature, it develops flowers, which are the reproductive organs of the plants. And the pollination occurs when the pollen from the anthers, which is the male part, are transferred to the stigma, which is the female part. And this can be done by like wind, animals, or any other environmental factors. And once they're transferred the pollen, then they grow a pollen tube, which is the style of an ovule, and that's where the fertilization takes place, and that results in a zygote, which develops an embryo, which then forms a fruit. And the seed dispersal, like I said, is through wind, animals, and other mechanisms. And once the seed touches a favorable environment that it wants to grow in, then the cycle restarts and begins again. And finally, for the environmental cues, throughout a plant's life, a flowering plant, it responds to a lot of environmental cues which regulate its behavior and development. Light, it plays a critical role in photoperiodism, which determines when the plant actually blooms. This is mediated by cytochromes, which are light-sensitive proteins that measure the length of day and night, and the temperature affects the enzyme activity, germination, and flowering. For example, some seeds require vernalization, which is a period of cold before they can germinate, and hormones also play essential roles, like auxins. They stimulate the stem elongation, and gibberellins promote seed germination, and cytokinins, they encourage cell division, and abscisic acid, they help the stomata during the droughts. And the hormonal signs, they help the plants adapt and thrive in changing environments. And finally, for the conclusion, the life of a plant is very complex, and it's important to learn about it because you not only learn about the stages, but you also learn about how it's important to global ecosystems, the plant himself. So, thank you.